Castries South MP Dr. Ernest Hilaire is appealing to the government to be more fluid with the distribution of income support. Dr. Hilaire says the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic has been far-reaching. Therefore, any form of aid should be equally impactful.
In light of recent discussions surrounding the non-eligibility of farmers to receive income support from the government under the Income Support Program, and noting that the Agricultural Support Program only offers financial assistance to boat owners at this time, Castries Southeast MP Ernest Hilaire is appealing to the government to offer a more uniformed support program. Hilaire says that the farming sector is only one of many sectors where no allocation has been made for financial support. This, he says, is unjust because no sector has gone unscathed by the COVID-19 pandemic.
There's still too many sectors that are saying they've not received any support from the government. You hear persons who operate in vendors, small business persons are still complaining. This is months, going on to 5 months since the COVID crisis started, and those individuals have still not received support.
Dr. Hilaire lamented having received reports that community-scale support efforts seem to carry heavy political undertones. Furthermore, he claims that in some areas, people are made to declare their political affiliation prior to receiving assistance.
Assistance for those who need it cannot be politicized. It has to be a non-political, non-partisan, and non-governmental effort to make sure that the right people who deserve the assistance are getting the assistance. We cannot support what is going on now, which is essentially the politicization of COVID assistance. And where those assistance is being provided, we are getting complaints from people that only a selected few are receiving.
He says in time of crisis, the government of St. Lucia must offer aid to the people, free of any alternative motives. Jacques Wooding, Hot 7 News.
One mother who suffered a tragic loss has decided to form a foundation in the name of her son in order to provide support to parents who give birth to premature babies, as well as parents of rainbow babies. The Calum Didier Foundation is a non-profit organization that will seek to provide both mental and financial support to parents who need it.
A premature birth is a birth that takes place more than 3 weeks before the baby's estimated due date. As many as 15 million babies are born preterm around the world. Owena Didier, a mother who suffered the loss of her preterm baby, has turned her pain into her purpose and is hoping to reach out to women who are suffering the same painful experience or are mothers to preemies.
Calum Didier Foundation was conceptualized due to the trauma I experienced from losing my son. I decided to create this foundation to stand in solidarity with parents that have endured such a loss as myself.
She explained that many times when parents lose their babies, they have no support and sometimes they are forced to simply move on without healing. Therefore, the group will be the support system to these parents.
Didier Foundation is a support system for parents, whether it be financial or emotional support.
The foundation is a non-profit organization and interested parents can contact the group at 286-0687 or email calum.didier@gmail.com or reach out to them on Facebook and Instagram at Calum Didier Foundation. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
The proprietor of Captain Ron's Stores, Aaron Alexander, says the reopening of the yachting sector has not been favorable to smaller boat and tour operators. He says he, like many others, awaits word from officials on what will be done to assist them, especially those with their main market in Martinique.
As of July 10, 2020, the yachting sector in St. Lucia officially reopened. Since then, there have been calls for clarity on the protocol set, as well as many questions from boat and yacht operators who do not operate within the designated travel bubble issued by the government. Captain of Ron Tours, Aaron Alexander, says there have been consultations with authorities. However, he is yet to receive a response on his recommendations.
We are not open yet to Martinique as far as I'm hearing. The Maritime Division of SLASPA with Mr. Christopher Alexander, we came up with a list of protocols that we submitted to the CMO in as far as protecting the yachting sector. And these protocols, once approved by the CMO, it now has to go to Martinique to let Martinique vessels know these are the protocols to come into St. Lucian borders. So we also have to get the protocols from Martinique, saying what are the protocols for St. Lucian vessels to go to Martinique. So this is still a bit in limbo, and I have not gotten any updates from Maritime Division and from Mr. Christopher Alexander as to how things stay on that point.
He stated that there is much speculation as to why the St. Lucia-Martinique borders are not yet reopened, and that he would be grateful if any clarification is provided by the officials.
As I'm hearing, since Europe, the UK, Canada, they have banned the entry of US citizens into their territories, and Martinique is part of France and part of Europe. So hence Martinique is saying, since St. Lucia is accepting American tourists, that they're not going to open their borders to St. Lucia. I don't know how true that is, so I need clarity on these issues. And you know, who do we call to find out about these things? I'm not sure. So the authorities need to come out clearly to state what is the position on that. Is it true that the Martinique authorities are saying, since St. Lucia is accepting American tourists, they will not open their borders to St. Lucia because as you know, America is the epicenter right now for the virus.
He explained that the option of receiving permission to enter into the country simply to collect goods on behalf of St. Lucia is one he is willing to explore, given the current climate in the country due to COVID-19.
In my capacity as the owner of Captain Run Tours, I've been trying to engage the French Embassy and our Consulate General in Martinique, Ms. Joanna Salton, to see how feasible it is that they could grant me permission to come up to Martinique, especially to take goods for our St. Lucian persons, because St. Lucian people have family and friends in Martinique who are willing to send down groceries because you know the unemployment situation in St. Lucia. So their relatives and friends willing to send down goods and groceries and stuff for them in St. Lucia, but there are no vessels taking these things to St. Lucia. So I'm trying to see if I could get permission to do those voyages. And I was told that I will not be allowed to carry any passengers. So basically an empty yacht with just captain and crew, go up there, take the goods and come back down. I don't have a problem with that.
Alexander says while he is appreciative of the initiative by the National Insurance Corporation, it is merely enough to keep him and his employees afloat, as they have been unemployed for over 5 months. At this point, he says he has no idea when he will be able to ride the wave again. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Bonza.
The Caribbean's leading destination marketing brand Caribcation has just introduced its latest marketing campaign, Bubblecation. This is for countries within the designated travel bubble so they can reconnect with family and friends or enjoy a romantic getaway in St. Lucia. The bubble countries approved by the Department of Health and Wellness currently include Antigua, Barbuda, Aruba, Anguilla, Bahamas, Barbados, Bermuda, Bonaire, British Virgin Islands, Curacao, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, Jamaica, Montserrat, St. Barthélemy, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Martin, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, and Turks and Caicos. Visitors within the bubble countries with a travel history from these areas in the last 21 days will be exempt from quarantine. However, they are required to obtain a PCR negative test result no more than 7 days prior to date of travel and are subject to mandatory screening on arrival. Bubble visitors are also subject to all applicable on-island protocols, including testing, quarantine, and isolation where necessary. This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us. There's more after the break.